All right, almost 7:15 here on the program. Permanent delegates to the National Council of Provinces, or NCOP, will visit Gauteng next week for a report-back session of the Taking Parliament to the People. The visit will report back on the investigation into the impact migration has on service delivery in Gauteng, amongst other issues. Joining us now to discuss this further, we have the NCOP chairperson, Amos Masondo. Good to have you, sir. Thank you very much for coming in.
Morning to you and to greetings to all the viewers.
Thank you. So let's start with one of the biggest issues, obviously, is coronavirus at this point in time. Everything's still on track? This meeting is still going ahead?
The meeting continues. We've had a 3-day program, starting from Tuesday, which was yesterday, today, and we conclude our proceedings tomorrow.
Okay.
In the main, what we're seeking to do, if you look at the program, for instance, is that on the first day, would receive a report from the executive, people who serve in executive positions at local, provincial, as well as national government, the political leadership, as well as managers, senior managers who are charged with the responsibility of running a government. This would do to get a sense of how far has government gone to implement the issues that were raised by communities in the year 2018, taking Parliament to the people. We had a very fruitful deliberations yesterday. Various reports were received from the Premier, the MECs, deputy ministers who were there, and so on. And the sense that we're getting is that there's a bit of progress that has been made on this important question of migration and the impact that migration has
on service delivery. So what are the main issues that have been raised by the communities? What are their frustrations? What do they want to see being done? People
in the main had asked questions about what they saw as challenges. For instance, if you look at healthcare, there was a sense that people were raising about lack of resources or diminishing resources. The use and failure of resources to meet the additional burden demonstrated by the migrants who are really were increasing in the province of Gauteng.
Yeah, and it's weakening the resources that are already
weakening infrastructure, putting a burden on human resources such as doctors and nurses.
What are we looking at? Did we talk about numbers yesterday? I mean, did we come ahead and say, this is obviously migration is a constant issue in Gauteng. People coming here in search of jobs, trying to find a better life and find themselves in a position that is not necessarily something that they had thought of, or in a worse off position than they originally were. But what are the numbers looking like in terms of migration and that burden on the infrastructure? Do we know that?
The impact is huge on Gauteng. About 47% of the total migrants who arrive in South Africa end up in Gauteng. As opposed, for instance, to about, say, 0.7% who end up in the province of the Northern Cape. So the impact is very huge. It's felt. People know of some foreign national who's residing in the neighborhood, or a group of foreign nationals located in a particular geographic area. So it's real, it's palpable. is something that is there that people have to grapple with on a day-to-day basis.
And this is the reality that everybody knows about. The numbers are there. It is visible, as you say. People see it. It's tangible. It is happening. Have solutions been spoken about? How do we try and minimize the impact of this and try and stop this mass migration into Gauteng? Because, as you say, our services are already being depleted by too many people.
Yeah. The reports given yesterday are numerous, and they cover a whole range of areas, ranging from home affairs, health, economic development, human settlement and infrastructure, and so on. So they cover a wide span of areas. We'll have to obviously study the reports much more closely, and if need be, identify issues that need a follow up. But in general, one can say there's an overall sense that we're getting that progress is being made, and that the difficulties may be there. But we remain very optimistic that solutions will be found.
It almost feels as if this has to now be sped up even faster. I mean, I was going to ask you about timeframes, but I'm hoping that through the reports that you've received, we are going to see now, with the spread of coronavirus, and Gauteng at this point has the highest number of infections. This is going to put further strain on our health facilities, the water that we need so desperately to keep up with hygiene. Everything now is going to be worsened due to coronavirus and lockdowns and everything else that unfortunately is anticipated. Has this been spoken about? I mean, this must have come up in discussions with the NCOP.
The coronavirus question is definitely and obviously one of the key issues. One can't discuss in context without looking at this matter. We have said as much information as possible should be collected and made available to public representatives, so that indeed during the period of recess, people go to communities and constituency offices much more empowered and better prepared. The issue is huge. It's one of those things that has to be confronted, and every single opportunity should be utilized to reinforce the efforts that are being made by government and various civil society organizations.
As a final closing note, and I think a lot of people wanting to know this, the figures that you're getting in for migration into Gauteng, are they increasing? Are we seeing them steady, or is it something that we're just not getting a hold on?
As I said, the majority of migrants
come to Gauteng. So that number is still high.
I can't say that the numbers are stabilizing. We'll watch it very closely, and it's a matter that is of national concern.
Yeah. Thank you for talking to us. Thanks for updating us here on the program. This was just to get a sense of a report back session that's currently taking place now. It's of taking Parliament to the people. It's going to be ending today. Did you say today?
And tomorrow.
It ends tomorrow. The final day is tomorrow. But the NCOP chairperson, Amos Masondo, giving us an update and a little bit of information that's taken place over the last day or so. It carries on today with the Gauteng report back session of taking Parliament to the people in terms of the impact of migration, and of course all of this on service delivery. Coronavirus, as you heard, is now something that is right on top of the agenda. A very difficult situation indeed to deal with. But let's take a break. When we return, Dana will bring us our sports news. Stay tuned.